Story 1. Anything created in those foolish, pointless 5-minute, do-it-yourself videos on Facebook, like turning your toilet into a horse, so you can relieve yourself while sitting on a do-it-yourself horse. Story 2. Dog but stickers. Seriously? Imagine having an adhesive flower attached to your exposed buttock all day. And it's definitely not for the dog. Who is staring at dog buttocks long enough to warrant them? Find a new hobby. Story 3. Has anyone ever seen those pet rock kits from the 70s? It is literally a rock in a box with some straw. It is like, congratulations, you have bought a rock. Sometimes the simplest things can make you wonder about the human condition. Story 4. Do you have any love for the shake weight? Walking burned more calories than that dumb and hilarious-looking fitness infomercial. Story 5. Someone bought me an egg scrambler. It is shaped like an egg but larger and has some balls in it. The idea is you crack an egg and pour it into this thing and shake it up. Story 6. Those short plastic brown coffee stirrers that were only about 5 inches long could barely fit into any cup except a tiny one and didn't really help stir anything. They stopped using them about 20 years ago, so most people here wouldn't remember them. The plastic was kind of corrugated. Story 7. Bitcoin uses as much energy as a small country. It doesn't do anything non-criminal that you can't do easily in the real financial system. It's just a much worse version of PayPal and massively enables scams, money laundering, and crimes like ransomware and pig butchering. Story 8. A story that might be about karma, and is definitely about 3 stupid inventions. There was this inventor who found out in the 1920s that putting lead in gasoline reduces engine knock significantly. It was tested and became clear very soon that the lead affected the people working with it. The inventor himself incurred lead poisoning, and eventually everybody alive on the planet. This invention raised the lead levels in the atmosphere to never-before-seen levels, and has been suspected or proven to be the source of an enormous range of physical, mental, and environmental problems, like permanent brain damage. We have no control group because it rapidly poisoned the whole planet, but it is often assumed that we as a species might have walked a different path without that lead in the atmosphere and in our drinking water and in our brains and in our babies. The company that had hired the inventor managed to contain the truth for many decades, and this could well have been called intentional mass murder. Nobody ever got prosecuted for this. The inventor then turned to refrigeration, where he found that using chlorofluorocarbons is a really cheap and efficient way to keep things in your fridge cool. It became the worldwide standard, but it was later found out that when these fridges were destroyed, the chlorofluorocarbons in them would rise up in the atmosphere and destroy the ozone layer. It was one of the main contributors to the depletion of the ozone layer, which meant much more UV radiation managed to reach our planet's surface, the cause of millions of cases of skin cancer, cataracts, and other eye problems. The effects were pretty obvious though, so the reaction was more swift. After this, the inventor got a severe case of polio, which heavily disabled him. He invented a machine that would help him get out of bed in the morning, which one day malfunctioned and strangled him at the age of 55. This inventor's name is Thomas Midgley Jr., and he might be the one person who indirectly killed the most people in our history, ironically including himself. Veritasium made a nice video about this guy and his story. Story 9. Chemical weapons. As soon as they were created for World War I, all the other countries responded, "You are irresponsible for bringing this upon the world because now we're going to have to use it too." Story 10. Those crank flashlights that only provide as much light as the clock on your microwave, and only then if you continuously spin that crank like you're playing Mario Party 1. The moment you stop spinning that poorly made plastic arm, you're back in the dark. Story 11. Progressive glasses require you to be at the perfect distance and angle to find that sweet spot where you can clearly see. If anything moves or if you move, you have to start the process all over again. You end up spending all your time moving your head around in an impossible quest to find that magical sight line. People who see me probably wonder why I'm not wearing a bicycle helmet. I'm frustrated with the Walmart optometrist who told me how great they are. Story 12. Hot rocks for snakes actually burn them because they have the brain cells of a gnat. My husband's 17-year-old snake just died, so we have experience with this. Story 13. 2 things. The automatic soap dispenser for your home. If you use the soap properly, then you wouldn't need to worry about the germs on the pump. Cageless toilet bowl discs. Don't touch the germy cage again. If the toilet bowl cleaner worked, it wouldn't be germy. Storage termaszcie. Zoom. My parents each had one. I'm assuming it was a cheaper Microsoft version of the iPod. Even back then, it was disappointing and felt low quality, and I was a teenager. Story 15. Too many. But one I would choose is cleanses. It's all snake oil. You have organs to do that. You will not lose weight other than a bit of water weight. It's a scam and far too many people fall for it. Story 16. Here is the revised text with spelling errors corrected, acronyms replaced, punctuation improved, and without special characters or links, tailored for Azure text-to-speak AI. Modern smart technology is often applied where it's not really needed. Smart toasters, smart washing machines, smart light bulbs, along with all the stuff that's needlessly fitted to modern cars in a bid to sell more to the individuals who think they're getting something amazing. Story 17. It is an old one. Someone figured out how to make a remote control that only turns stuff off, and it usually leaves the devices it turns off in an unusable configuration so that you cannot use them again. Additionally, you have to pay for the energy to operate the device by buying little packets that only allow you to use the device one time for each packet. Really dumb. Story 18. Leaded petrol was actually never needed, as there were better alternatives at the time, and DuPont knew that the workers making it were all going mad and dying early. Story 19. I don't know if it is the stupidest, but it's impractical and pretty dumb. It's an invention where you wear a visor-like hat, but it has protrusions sticking out, holding a toilet paper roll that spins in front of your forehead. This is in case you have a sniffle, runny nose, or are about to sneeze. Can fit full-size toilet paper rolls, or for an extra $3, you can get a paper towel roll version. I don't know how much it costs, but I'll laugh my head off when I see it. Story 20. Dog poo bag holders. As a dog owner, people have gifted me these more than a few times, and they are completely useless. Why do I need 50 bags in a little plastic thing when I walk my dog? She is not an elephant. I have pockets. Story 21. Nuclear weapons. I understand that they deter countries from invading each other, but having the ability to kill millions or even billions and destroy the world as we know it, concentrated into the hands of relatively few people, is absolutely crazy. Story 22. A billion ads on websites. A few non-annoying ones are fine, but so many sites have ads that block or shift the content, constantly changing and making navigation a pain. Story 23. For me, it's pet rocks. Gary Dahl made $15 million from the invention of the pet rock. I am both astounded and embarrassed that the creation of a pet rock will most likely surpass anything I achieve in life. Story 24. Advertising in products or services that you pay for is one thing. Magazines, for example, but an operating system or a car. What's next? Toilets advertising toilet paper while you do your important business?